me just so many abema.
Zapumboko there.
Nyame go so shrine, nyame go so ton so pa gu yeso. Sana de bia meka no nyame adom na yeti se na yeti. Na adom ode dum yen so anye kwa. Sana Paul kan so me ye dwuma nsin wo nyina na nso enye me bawrade a oka me hu nti. So de chia na pa se ne moja ede funsan owi mu a. De ye ya ne se ebeda Yakopon ase. And no, I may share me. I like watching people's status, and I may share your regional treasurer, Rahel, ni status. I mean, who say your own guys, me no. Let me say, why? So they are all pastors. One works with Uncle Bo White,
Roverman Production.
Yes, one guy be something ye boa.
Oh,
why? Say and when he has put some of his stage performance they be on her status and you can see the energy in the guy. And then I've Okoboy Consuls Lojokuku first vice chairman. On those very young guy, Dennis. So I saw how much yesterday and then Akuma him. So when you wake up in the morning, the only thing you have to do is to thank God. Say, God, I thank you for my life. And that's why the Biameka say, sometimes you always ask God, say, God, why did you hide that thing away from us? That is death. That is one thing that sometimes it saddens my heart. But God knows why. This and sometimes me can say, yes, the reason I mean personally, me who say Yakopon they say, Anka my Yesu we think the whole world belongs to us. And if we have something and you try, so let me finish with everything because the next day but our ways are not God's ways. And neither our thought is a thought. CJ, and then Yakopon say, na ye bonya empire say, ye be in Sutomui. In fact, for some time now, there's no good news in the most of the rural areas in Sotona, Edanswapa, and people are losing their lives and all those things. And others, and you see, I don't know, say Muhana discussed. I think one of the sisters said within the last 4 months or 3 months, about 746 people. 1,746 people have lost their life. Through road accidents.
Last week.
Just look at last week what happened. I mean, it's your best say Abai Enche na some of our roads and then the drivers too. And I was just giving them some information the last time. And him say he will bash me. But at the station, people started sending messages about what I said. Look, CJ, Uko Obama constituency. Na me ye house to house campaign. Na me ko far aboso kan echi ho bibi omo nyenye tire fo no honum but nipa na boy your friend is saying dua dan bi. Na CJ. In fact, I was sad. Very very sad. Tire that day near yimu and they have say tire bi awon the design. And they have the template of the design. And the designs no ewo mu. I'm telling you, old ones no.
Ababeton. I'm a driver for their show. I
was sad. You know, no more dear friend saying, say, dirty or yellow, say, Kotabi, na they are hunina, so you
black.
It looks new for you. Hey! Such a ukotoa. And honestly, since then, it informs me, say, make second-hand tire, because I don't know where it's coming from. So I said, Odi Katu Kaso, now turn you one. And yes, I may say, but I'm appealing to my people there. Say, look, Omunfa Omuni, Endi, Omunyano, Omuton, second-hand clothes, second-hand parts, no. I know the kind of people that we have in Abosok, and I know they are a current chairman, Ochi, and then Kabot, Muni, a friend is saying, a friend, Siamoni, Penifo, best slow. Say, look, there are two main places a ton kahunya mapa magazine your friends and Kumasi your friends Abosokan. But anytime biano be able pani Abosokan because it tells you say the kind of parts they sell there ajidin and a friend konuso ayeden ajidin So if they to protect the integrity and the reputation of the place in nyama moton dia omunya no ma motun ton nyama ne bi no ese omudi omuni eden ehwe sometimes we won't say scraps for you what's the exhaust what's the way no more be fat you go people have weared it they are painting the friends like gray will be painting then it looks new. All these things we need to look at it because these are some of the things that cause accidents on our road and so I think that I say a driver for no to me then to me a bomb to get things done. So I hope and everything say maybe I be fine. I mean we are hoping say nobody could have bet now idea. But unfortunately me share list no. Ma who need you?
You see, every week you can't watch him.
You see, sometimes
if you are not chairman, so what TV be on because
it will get to a point, politics. People in Kofo omun yo makume munye politics bio. Look, when the last time I buy me catch you say, Honorable Joseph Adekuka, Oli Dade, Oli Consol. Your friend is saying Naziru Mohammed, Kukubuahi. These are people who have held us for 8 good years. Look, he jumped from one radio station to another, criticizing the previous government.
Sometimes,
every issue.
Sometimes as late as 10 p.m. Look, not the TV. So
every issue you speak to it. Every issue. Just to make sure that the NDC wins power. Now say 4 months. There are certain people. They have been given appointment. Now a former regional chairman.
No.
Regional chairman. Obedi Akonyano. Na omo small seat. Or the course rosa. And then Mumano.
In fact,
and you see sometimes because of our relationship with some of them, it's because you see who you are funsa.
No, your own side.
Say the yard cook and it's me come and call for not to say me do you mean say papa no me
that's how we do MP did that.
MP Adeko Kasimi Yai.
And to one Kubu.
Nabi.
Unkubium. Oh, just like Dr. Bernardo Kuboy.
No, I won't go again.
Okuboy say regional chairman. Greater Accra.
Yes, that is his decision. But me, I have decided that I am not going to run parliamentary again. Honestly, that's my decision.
No.
But I've said it and they are calling, but I said no, I've done enough. Me person be a bit tasty. When Adekoka was the regional chairman,
yes.
What is that? And is for who come regional office there?
No.
But now they say who they also before and after the Omawuni Park, so they have been fighting. We have regional chairman list and then regional executive list. One kasa Miami Nyabema now president staffer.
Yeah.
Anthony Nukbenu.
Yeah.
It tells you leadership is different. You see, when you are a leader, you manage people. But how many they say no? Obia when it camp. But not about the time it was not like that. That's how politics is. But sometimes you look at the person. Say, why is it that when this man was a chairman, there are some people who are still even executive who he worked with them, but there was coercion.
Yeah.
And as I say, the entities are same there, but it's for the betterment of all of us. Say, there say to me share. So now I bet you hey, my Joy Prime. Me unso no so akọ Adom TV. My baha, me we must another place. Na ya ba power. Now obi a man ti say o ka say kukudu eshi. Na ya be fe na aja me. That's such that halla. And then
Chairman Emeritus Adekuka Angomna morning Apumbokodi. Oh, in fact, who designed and order you can.
No problem.
Wow. What? In fact, neatly done, Uncle.
That's it.
But I never could say, oh yeah, and this way, and say, he's refusing to grow.
And in the morning,
And then he's refusing. Look, there are two people. May he so rest in peace. Sampiali.
Yeah.
Oh, me,
yeah.
Life, oh.
Yeah.
What's a bracelet? No,
Chairman.
Sampiali, no, what
the designer.
I'm telling you.
I'm running a crown.
Oh, they say you're pure one here. Why not Friday? You are no, me, the two of them, they refuse to go. That's when some people say, oh, and sometimes only to call some morning shows in the Saturday so or to mission shows.
Yeah.
No what Ginny Lacos. They have the levels.
If he appear on the show now, you raise them concern, yeah. Mama, how? Because some of us we know and understand and appreciate the sacrifices that you've made for the party. And in Waba power. But this time, me myself, I've given myself up to the middle of May. The middle of May. Chairman, Manchester. Personally, I'll write a petition to His Excellency the President. I will. I will. Yeah.
Yeah. In a program server is a nice man. Last time the catch a damn contest, we had Jamo one. Why be? I'm glad. It shows appreciation, and that is life. You know, when there, people recognize your contribution. You don't have to wait when you are gone before you come and stand and write.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm glad that people appreciate what I do.
Yeah.
Only yesterday, in the Greece, mobile.
Oh, okay.
I went to Greece over there 5 days ago.
Okay.
Na mudu hono. Na mawunde Ghana. Yakasadodo. 10 years ago, in Greece, they were bankrupt. People were banks now were chasing the prime minister. They were chasing. Now when you go there, the economy has rebounded. And the number of tourists are waba. We could do Greece anapa 9 a.m. Airport no. Immigration. Why am I? It took me about 30 minutes to get out of immigration. And what are people going to? Archaeology. Zeus. Old Roman Empire, Acropolis, those things the people are leveraging on. And here, it's all Napa. But now, we have left undone the things that we should have done. There were so many tourist attractions, Okroma, former forts,
castles, waterfalls. And in the
you don't see the benefit of it.
You're not leveraging on this.
You're not leveraging on it.
Yeah.
It is very important that we should have a different mindset about this country. Otherwise, every once a week, but now came the man the Akada. In another 4 years, naked in a platform do. In a Yasana baby. This is what for 60 years of Ghana being independent. 68 years of Ghana being independence. In Sutokakre 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Also almost pylons. Electricity is near Bubu.
Yeah.
I mean, what? You travel and see people are progressing.
Yeah.
People are moving on. I'm saying people are moving us as a country. How? Tell me, no, say big Ghana. Be any baby alcohol except this place. Any baby alcohol. I have my BMB passport. Baby, because I what stamp passport. So we have to have a different mindset. I hope and pray that the generation coming up, they should be engrossed in how are they going to position this country the next 20, 30 years. very, very important.
But I say, Yansha and Semino, I say, honorable.
You see, for Yen Hanum say, we are blessed in such a way. Say we should have not been going out to beg for any support.
Yeah.
Look, many Jamie Sabonso, my friend is saying Joe Wise. I mean, some few members of parliament we call Indonesia. In fact, when we were speaking to their friend is saying their minister, one of their ministers, they don't have natural resources. The only main source of your friend is saying Indonesia, tourism. That's where they get their money. And Yen Hanum, you see, tourist attractions here, the money that we get. Yeah. But look at our beaches. Now, when they go to beach, they don't catch fish. And bottle water. And
the plastics.
Look, there's one place that the first, I share what TV to me. I was like, wow. And that place, they see me call Zulezu.
Yeah.
Just look at how a friend is saying they are built on in the water.
Yeah.
Look at some of us, and it's a choice on its own. Yeah. They have their own school, they have a hospital, they have this, everything there.
Everything happening on the river.
On the river.
Yeah.
So nice. Look, Okoye Hanum Adan ya Adan. I joined the election. I was assigned to Adan. And when you cross, Ube crosses some river B and so another village where you see, these are choice where it can give us a
with
lot
all the
of
beautiful
money.
islands.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But what do we do? And then, but another problem is that all these things also door bound to politics idea. We read politics in everything.
Yeah.
You see what I've said about Honorable Adekoka? You even get some people from MPP who will be insulting me. But meanwhile, it's an asset to the country and not a political party. In as much as it belongs to a friend is saying NDC.
Yeah.
All of us belongs to a political party or whatsoever. But at the end of the day, the interest of the country should be our paramount.
Absolutely.
That's what we have to look at.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who is in government. It doesn't matter who is in the aim of affairs. But at the end of the day, it should be the development of the country.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because you call who cut off words and say, NDC membership card.
There be.
You buy and then you go. Because the government that's doing own NFN is a filling station called Bupacho or free. But because we read politics in everything that we do, that is the problem that we are having as a country.
Yeah.
And when we are able to desist from it, whether NDC, MPP, or CPP, and our focus is to build this country, I can tell you things will change. Yeah. The last time Ikai was stationed, he said, look, when Okova Napwe, Estati said, oh, boo, Nyama, or your friend said, Accra, you have NDC people criticizing him, saying all manner of things, because we're thinking about the next election. When the former MP here,
Henry Court,
we have our own party people,
we heard a lot
and then they will go and organize people to go to the party headquarters and be shouting, and they go to Aba, and Lusu, and that was the end. Today, just go back to where Henry Epamu Onion Market, you go and look at it. I had nuisance, and it is a second class to say, all because of politics in tea. So if we are able to get a political will, and sometimes it pains me, say, your friends say NDPC, National Development Planning Committee. We have all the structures. Why don't we follow by it? If I had to do it, I can tell you, within, and let's turn on Abukaino, let's give ourselves 10, 15, 30 years. Look, other countries, and they fire plate, they will also come here.
Yeah.
But it's because of the way we do politics.
And one thing, planning. I remember some time back when Dr. Nimoy Thompson, NDPC, there was a Black Star Rising, I think a 20-year development plan. I don't know where that document is. Abayin Bako, and we put out some of these documents, and then we put them in the cupboard, and then they start gathering dust.
About almost 10 kilometers, the beachfront of Greece, Athens. Development away or no. Today, okay, we've got prime beachfront here. Like our toilet. Comfort dig no toilet. You can't even Labadi beach or you can't even go and swim properly.
No.
Oh, come on. I mean, anyway.
In fact, I wish we could continue with this topic because the
people
politics...
we need to develop this country.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm not happy. There, and then we are divided into two strands: MPP, NDC. MP NDC will be NDC be and nothing is developing. So rainy season about June, May, June. But this happened last year. It happened the year before. It happened the year before.
Yeah. We don't do anything about
Nothing. It's the same thing. Market because debris are what accumulate what dam on no market. It goes to it's going into the waterway and blocks it. But you have spent so many millions. Yes, you're desert. Can you imagine the amount of money? What's why you're desert? Scanner Kongovu Kotoku. I mean, so
okay. Yeah, fun on Tunchen Kakrana. Yeah, some of the national issues. I mean, the issue of the Chief Justice after her suspension. Now, the Ghana Bar Association has passed a resolution calling on His Excellency the President to, as a matter of urgency, revoke the suspension of the Chief Justice. Well, and also Danchenya MPP, together with 3 other political parties, namely NDP, LPG, and PNP. Almost also at the protest. So on the same Chief Justice in Nsem, well, and also Ghana Union Movement. Initially, they feel some protesting, but they've come out. And a penny, penny, also for Chabosum, Meneno Akasa, they are not part of the demonstration. But these are the issues that have come up. Chairman, my mention for na maybe I'm a corner. Me too.
As I am Ghana, only consistency. The problem. I want us to go back to Charlotte Osei. Charlotte Osei, before we look at this. Time Charlotte Osei, electoral commissioner. When elections you know, or declare MPP there will win election. She did not manipulate anything and declared MPP there will win election. But they went on to remove her. Abazi, no, was no, Ababona was a procurement. Okoto Nyama, only the auto. But the law was there procurement, you know. If you infringe on procurement, you can go back to the authority to ask for ratification once you give good explanation. But Ghana Bar Association, Tamawoyi, they never came out to pass any resolution. Manti there, Ibia Soko demonstration. That is why I'm saying that about none politics are. Oma Samno. Oh yeah, no. Why is in Kakra? Now, fast track. This situation, Ghana Fube there since I was 5. Now, I throw petition Akama, president. Go back to Charlotte Osei. Charlotte Osei anytime no. What your petition? President or your conveyor belt was the man there. You don't even read it. You pass it on to the appropriate authority, which was the Chief Justice, to look into it, to establish primary facie. It was the man Chief Justice. In a Akufa, Sophia, Gloria, Sophia.
I think it goes through the Council of State's answer.
No. With Charlotte Osei, it didn't go to the Council of State. It was straight to Sophia, the Chief Justice, and then she established the primary facie and appointed 5, including my very good friend B. Wakatna Samredo. In this instance, President Nisa Kano, I refer my Council of State. There, in consultation, as some what have you got to say about it? per 146 parliament. The president had no duty even to give the petition to the Chief Justice. But Chief requested the president demand okay, also 7 days, also more 10 days. Yeah. Now my reply. Oh, the man. No reply, no reply, no response, Bibiano. Or the come out president, no. President, what's what they come out? Council of State. And out of 31 members, one person abstained, according to reports, one person abstained, in the 30 members was established private facility. Then go back the president, or the president to do what? To take the relevant steps. President, wait the constitution step by step, as a constitution or required. Why unto nobody has come out to say the president he has violated the constitution. Nothing. It's Mbra that you are working within the Mbra. So how come there all of a sudden pass resolution? The question is there, how many of them walk around election throughout the whole country? There, overpass what comfort zone. Now what sure resolution come a president. Walk run the whole country, walk on the whole country, we vote man. He's the president, then don't forget that, or executive president. Never true resolution come on. Sometimes look at there. We don't even respect our own constitution. Asemi Odin then we are custodians of legal norms. We want a resolution on violating constitution na on jazz or here no. And what happened be what you be there? What's why investigation? What for lawyer bra ne be you are no. Abane you are no ye na wasem woman. You go back to do your job and now then be.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten there. So it's marks of what we call hypocrisy. That is what is troubling this country. I thought they would allow the system, the process, the procedure to be gone through. And when the president infringes on the constitution, don't forget that the president himself can be impeached. President himself can be impeached.
But there are processes.
And there are processes.
Yeah.
You have to go to parliament, get to test majority from parliament to impeach him. Donald Trump, was he not impeached? Nixon, was he not impeached? Bill Clinton, was he not impeached? They went through the process. They even went to trial. Senate, there was a Senate trial on Jimmy Carter. Bill Clinton, and he won by 1 vote. Otherwise, he would have been impeached as ne crime down in Besia, where can be sent the pant one over office. So nobody is above the law. If a whole president can be impeached, how can we achieve justice? And more so, the president has not violated any of the constitutional provisions. So why are you running before you are walking?
But Chairman, so there's a perception. There's a perception that the Ghana Bar Association is very vocal when the NDC.
I was coming there.
Okay.
I was coming there.
It's in power. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I was coming there.
Okay.
For the past 8 years, tell me a statement that Bar Association issued during the MPP government. You remember the last bar conference? They were even praising the president, the Chief Justice, everybody at Kumasi. They were praising him to high heavens. They were praising him. High heavens. Wabia in the former vice president in the flag bearer.
Flag bearer, yes.
When you should be the president as well as also president as well as what can say China on it. But here's a situation where Bar Association, they were praising him to the high heavens. NDC Bar, yeah, she. You are, okay, Mrs. Lamptey, Shraj.
Yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Lamptey. Another prayer in a Nyama of the Navafana. Another prayer in Nyama, if I've got the name correct. What's your petition, Kama? President Mahama. And you might a crime. What's a Shraj a boss? No, he has a Shraj bungalow or Docketinum. But she didn't do that, and she was living in a hotel, accruing bills. Well, MPP was the petition by you. The president acted on it, but Bessian way lazy. Mubwana, way lazy. Why say back there? Because your MPP funa what you up President Cruz said he could have ignored it, but he went ahead with it, and no man lost their position. Oh, it's what are we doing? Well, no, it is wrong, and in the first instance, they cannot authorize the president of the Republic of Ghana. The decision will take unrescinded. Are you killing the government? That will be the end of the government. You don't dare the president. The mistake I want that they are daring the president. Because if I am me, in the Dama, I'll dare you. I'll go ahead and do what you say, and I'll see what you will do. Can you come to the Jubilee House and pull me out of the office? There should be back channels. But you don't go and do this and do things. Now, if it becomes partisan, let's assume that why a partisan, because you are showing your color. Do you think these people will sit down for their president to be humiliated? No, never. It's whoever put that idea in their mind was a big. Their first statement that they issued was very apt. Let us follow the rule of law. The law is the law. The law is the law. What does the law say of impeachment? Is there black and white parliament? Article 146, 1, 2, 3, 10, 11. Everything is stated there, the procedure. That's all. So why should they go and this level? Ever can't the Kunepano as some euros in the GBA? They have misfired.
All right, Medase, Chairman Kobna Ade Kuka, former Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the NDC, NAT in Kano. Honorable
CJ, Ghana Bar Association over the weekend a annual conference.
Yes.
My information was that in December last year, and I almost scheduled a meeting this month. And it's like, Minister say quarterly and almost share. And when they meet, there are 3 areas that they look at. They look at governance, a memoir, ekoso. They also look at Omuankasa, the Bar Association itself, challenges, problems that they are encountering in the association. And why am I lawyers in the Judiciary and from the magistrate court up to the Supreme Court. So they look at the court itself and the challenges in the court. They are communicating on issue here and as on issues that they talked about. Omuka CJ Nsem. Omuka Galamsey Nsem. Omuka the situation currently in Ablekuma North, which that one there I will plead with Honorable Adekuka to help me to see how best, because in fact I can't the founding people in Ablekuma, the 3 Ablekuma, you can't take him out because Omukita Ablekuma Central, Ablekuma North, Ablekuma South or Kamubi. Now they were the people preventing the NDC to penetrate in those constituencies. Once a can people for almost 30 MPP strong Ablekuma, Adekuka is part of it. And all the giant or the core NDC.
Oh wow.
Oh yes. In fact, the Kimpis, you cannot write the history of these 3 constituencies without him when you talk about MPP. So after that one, the as to how we can resolve the issue in Ablekuma North for the betterment of this country.
Yeah.
But CJ, upon all issues to kind and the other subject for discussion. CJ DNO. And the reason is it has now, I would say, and politics, but now it has tended to be politics. Politics in the sense that the NDC have their version of the decision the presidents have taken. The MPP and the other political parties also have their version. Yes, I agree perfectly with him when he says that the president because there's a mra that is Article 146. Emma the president say obidi asem ebe to CJ so kwan we na say me den me faso. CJ Sami Jemfi, are you a member of the Council of State?
No.
Sami Jemfi, or your president of the Republic? So how did Sami Jemfi got to know, say, 31 members of the Council of State, 30 of them voted that the CJ should be suspended? How did he know? You are not a member of the National Council of State. Mm-hmm. You don't attend their meeting. So how did he, Sami Jemfi, got to know that at the meeting being chaired by Joe Ajaho, former NDC MP and former Speaker of Parliament, how did Sami Jemfi got to know, say, Nipa 30 and the 2 about say suspended Chief Justice?
No, but I don't know why you are surprised, because Sami Jemfi, in his capacity as the National Communication Officer and his position in the NDC, such information, I don't know, but shouldn't be
so after the Council of State
to...
meeting, they give copies of their minutes to NDC.
No, that's not that.
Because National Council of State, a advisory body of the president.
Yes.
So if Council of State acquire meeting and they have taken a decision and they have given the report to the president, say, report I will refer my this is the respond. And the president end up by giving it to Sami Jemfi. Is that what you are saying? Which I don't think the president will do that. So how did he know? So this is how politics are being ababe. And I'm me slow at demand this country. I fear for this country. Look, there were 3 arms of government. Now you people want to be 4th.
Yes, we are. We are.
It is not anywhere in the Constitution. You are making yourself. And honestly, because of the attitude and behavior of some of your people, you have lost that kind of your fairness and respect. So you don't fall within the 4 any longer.
No, we can't lose that respect because of the few minority.
So it is not any enshrined in any constitution whatsoever that the media is the 4th estate. No. So we are talking about the executive, the judiciary, and then the legislature.
After constitutional amendment, you are going to see some of these things there.
Oh, really?
Because we are pushing
and some
for
of
it.
us will also quickly against it. CJ, you see, they make comparison with Charlotte say. Look, if there's any institution that should also be part of the 4th winner year canal, and you're supposed to be part of it. But you see, it's not part, because the heart of this country, where the country ever couldn't and I said, and I said, can't be said no, and so and I'm a
yes, that's
so you should have been part of it. But you see, so when it gets government interference in the executives, parliament, and the judiciary, it creates problem. But CJ, the point is, what is the petition? Nsem Omaka. You see, you be CJ. Ede ne kunu any neighbor, any security, to coin. So because of that, no, ye know where they feel. CJ, let's go and check whether say CJ watumra by traveling with the husband or with the daughter. She has not, because when you read Omankasa, a friend is saying policies are more honuma. When you are
what I don't want is to litigate something that that's a mistake. Worry, litigate something that is supposed to be done in camera. Because when you bring this out, you know, that will force someone like Sami Jefi also to come and counter that, and then we start bantering. I believe that let us look at the Constitution. Me and you should not start.
But Chairman, do you admit that some way, somehow, Sami Jefi faulted?
No, I'm coming.
Putting that information out. Information that is supposed to.
Let me come out. Let me answer that question.
Yes.
It came out as a result of the petition and the response of the CJ being made public with Adom 106.3 on television. Started litigating the petition. And you know you have been a lawmaker before, and you know the Constitution, that these petitions, no, me and you are not equipped to go and look at the merits or the demerits of this thing. That is why they said it should be heard in camera. But when you do that, I can also answer back and tell you that as he shall not violate any law by traveling with the son, the wife, and the husband. And that. But the law says that the state should not have paid for that. Please, I've also read the audit report. I've also read the audit report.
No, but Chairman, what does the law say?
When she's traveling outside the country on her own, she has to travel with her security, herself, security, and the state will bear the expense. Right? The state does not bear the expense of the husband and the daughter and be given per diem. It is not so. I heard of this case long ago that I don't want to mention names. Her own colleagues were not happy about it. I can tell you on the authority here quietly. Well, one of the three, some company tried to sponsor some of them, and some of them refused because it's illegal for somebody to come and sponsor a trip of those justices. You know, I said, don't let us go there. But when you go there, Obaka NDC MPP,
it has already been
on public, you know. I don't want us to be watching the CJs dirty linen in public. So let's go there. Let's look at the procedure. That is what matters.
All right.
I'm speaking to a response by the Auditor General. Auditor General. Friend is saying,
yes.
Auditor General, query Omudi Judicial Service, no. This issue of CJ was not part of it. The issue that Auditor General query was for giving to the current and acting Chief Justice and one other person. And I demand a Judicial Council, which I can speak on authority, say these two justices have refunded the money back to the government.
Okay, so where did the travel expenses of the CJ come in? If not, where did they come in?
Let me read. Your friend is saying. How do you call it? Auditor General for Ekanye. Or say the CJ. Or say paragraph 9 of the said policy state that the Chief Justice shall undertake at least 2 official travel with either his or her spouse and one other person. Or say, obey to me at to coin with Nukunu and now one other person. Sana auditor general account and yet CJ no control no auto be buy. The reason, and I'm reliably informed because we have not done our checks. Say, when did this policy amended? The former Chief Justice who now serve as a Council of State member, Onukunu. So when she's traveling now, that means what benefit of here? So in 2019, they amend that policy to add your spouse or any other person, and it will be founded by the Judicial Service. So what crime has this woman committed? What crime has this man committed? I will say the auditor general report.
Sure.
I show one judge or say one lawyer or say the CJ at the court.
Okay. Yeah.
CJ,
Chairman.
I started from the onset. You see, there are two sides to the coin. I don't want us to come to this your studio, me and my brother here, to litigate this issue. I don't want us to do it. Don't let us go there because we are not equipped sufficient enough. If you are reading snipers, I also got a different audit report. I don't want us to go there.
Oh, it's the same.
Let us go to the, because here's a situation where she even wanted to refund the money, $30,000. She wanted to refund if she was entitled to it. Why should she tell them that she wants to refund it?
Okay,
they don't let us go there.
Another area that I wanted
another issue
was when the judicial secretary came up and now she has even resigned.
Yes, she has even resigned.
She has resigned.
Don't let
another
go
issue.
CJ.
One lawyer say on Supreme Court.
Honorable Sifa Mame.
No. Chairman enter that team baby.
Sifa Mame.
You Marty chairman. Chairman ode Marty. Another chairman in Prada per master with Marty. Another lawyer or say at the courts at the bench CJ called for his arrest. Because nyana oyeno enye like mrakwanso. But when they sit, they don't sit as one person as a judge. They sit as a panel. Even Bafo Bonu, who is acting as a Chief Justice, the same thing, the behavior that you put out, he spoke about it. The same behavior the Chief Justice spoke about it, that you are offended to actually say Chief Justice. Bafo Bonu, who is acting, spoke about it. So you say the issues of Mudi Kono have no merit. It is just because it's an agenda, say, let's remove the Chief Justice, because it was said by John Mahama. When he met the NDC lawyers in Pampram, Ada, he said, look, the bench or the court is filled up with MPP people. So you need to take up a responsibility as judges when we also come to power. That's what he said. So it's a mission that we need to fulfill. And CJ, also the current CJ acting or by a head on the who communicate on the buy no. Or say now every new cases should come to him.
Yeah.
For him to assign a judge. Konako Judicial Service. Now say, is that the procedure? What to say? It's because let's bring our NDC judges just as they have said. But look, as the CJ said, law is law. Irrespective of NDC judges that you go and put there. The only position I'm not praying for Honorable Adekuka is to become a EC chair. All other position he can take.
But that's it.
So for me, I think, CJ, we are treading on a very dangerous ground in this country. And if care is not, you see, they just want to put fear in the judges from the magistrate to the Supreme Court. So we are you. That is the agenda.
But that's it. Honorable.
But it will not work.
Ebenezer, Gilbert, Ni na Nati. Honorable Medase.
Have you looked at the composition of the Supreme Court?
Yes.
All those appointed there. Who appointed them?
No, Mahama and Anado.
No. Listen, I'm coming. Let me. Oh, Mami. The person our Supreme Court, John Mahama, appointing Poma, he's the only one.
Yes.
Now look at the 11 people who are there.
And have they been biased in their judgment?
My brother. Do you remember? Do you remember 7-0 and 8-0 and 9-0 and 11-0? Football team, basketball.
So, are you telling me, sir, in 2012,
you see,
in 2012, when you had a court judgment, are you telling me, sir, now your friend is saying Atubuga and their team are NDC people?
5-4. That was
5-4. Yeah.
Whether 5-4.
No. You see, I defeated the argument.
No. Okay, Adom 106.3 FM. Gentlemen,
you also know what happened.
Honorable.
Bafo Bonny not being found to come and write his report.
Honorable Eben.
So it presumes.
Honorable. There's another issue of very great concern to me. And I believe that as politicians, there are lessons that you can draw. Dr. Bawumia, or Yan, thank you, toy, or the Nsem tuja. And whether you are in opposition or whether you are in government, and some of Dr. Bawumia, they are tujano, we need to draw lessons. Maybe say a bebo, na yeti then we can contribute. Yentin some of Dr. Bawumia, the tuja, and it has to do with what caused the MPP's defeat in the 2024 election. Yentieno.
All the studies are so far. The big issues are one, cost of living. Nearby bo a kosoro, a hocheri, a buy. They come a idea, a friend of arrogance of power. And say, Yasu na a yet day. Yasu a day, ye a party for country and say, Yen rich up. And yes, 8 years, Yanti. And yes, party for country and say, Yen pay 11 no other high. The total answer, party for country say, haircuts no, debt restructure no, DDEP, someone can answer. Say, that debt restructure no, a bit hard because most of them are pensions. And from a penny announced, he said there will be no haircut. Several times. Then a point in IAEG. But a buyer, you pay a haircut. Which is a buy, you can't not you. Na yentia afforestation for you, hatred so you kill. Na also
Okay, so His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, former Vice President, and Yete Nkano. Honorable Gilbert, is this the true picture? Near flag bearer walking. 1, cost of living. 2, mason ya na edin ya kahwe ya muntie, especially on reshuffle DDEP haircut ni ade ni nyina ya kan ya ba kokoro de ka ho ne de pumping $58 million into the National Cathedral and also so or the ka ho. Is that the true picture? 5 minutes.
See, what Doc Ekaye is not different from what Otunfo Ekaye when Nanado Ekoho, if you remember. That's the same thing. And all the things that he has said, these are issues that when my constituency and that of the region, which I was member of the regional campaign team, when we met Michael Kwe committee, these are the issues that people raise. These are issues that people who know us say we are part and parcel of the campaign come to us and tell us. These are issues, media people talks about it. So for me, I think yes, he was communicating to the people what people were talking about. That yes, indeed, people were talking about cost of living. I don't think say MPP4 were living like Zoros during the MPP 8 years. They were also people were going through hardship. People attribute the former Chief Justice, say, or a relative of Nanado, Anameboa, But was she not part of the old people who went to take it at the Mpensenpensenmu, Ministry of Finance?
Ministry, yes.
So it tells you, say, yes, cost of living was a problem. And cost of living was one thing that the NDC adjust so any year campaign. Say, cement, almost free, that cement is on 30 Ghana. Now say on cement 85 ni 90 Ghana. No more buy the cement to go back to 20 Ghana. And then cement 130, 140. Depends on the brand of the cement that I will talk. Four, yeah, free so no you say. Now you buy man say. And now me do buy 4 months in office. No, they have increased fuel like 5 times. So cost of living is part. Nobody in MPP disputes the fact. Even Adom himself at that time. Eka say yes, he say nyamama ayedin. But it was as a result of certain things happened to the government and to the nation. That is how Kama ahunche ebaye. He talks about arrogance of power. Yes, ebimu oha. Uni omokasa omunte, your own colleague that you have sat with him or her in parliament, now he had the opportunity to be a minister or a deputy minister or a CEO somewhere. The audience is not there and all those things. And I'm happy. So you're in your open remarks about this topic, Albekano. We say both government and opposition need to learn something from it. Currently, as we are speaking, is something happening. You have somebody because he has been given a position as a CEO can look at a member of parliament and say you are a silly person. You have a minister and a deputy minister who can go to a hospital and talk to a medical doctor, a CEO in charge, and talk to him anyhow, and the next day he sacked the person. That's what he's talking about. Because we think, say, now 2 million or anything, that is why Mpensenpensenmu be say, Emre ye nin kaso. So me when NDC for can say, oh, mumunya ba baby, nam say me can more than 10,000 times. Say this for power be more. He said 2085. By 8 years time, I've come back to opposition. So you can say the same thing because you have won over 1 point something million difference, almost 2 million difference. So therefore, you think that. So all the issues that he has raised, yes, whether in government or in opposition, is
Yeah.
Yes. CJ, on several occasions I have come here and talk about levy.
Yes.
But you see, in as much that the NDC, a company about levy, a about COVID, a about other taxes they introduced here, when they were removing everything, have they removed COVID tax? Have they removed COVID tax? But they championed the issue of COVID. Omudi a campaign all over. Now they have not removed COVID because at the time that levy and COVID tax and other taxes were introduced, now it was important because that's the only source that government can get revenue. Me say abang enye dwon obi bia abanya profit o. The only way abang gets money is through taxes. So but Ghanaians were not happy. Party people were not happy. Said, look, if even in his own campaign, Baumia, he said, look, when the mandate is given to me, it tells you that he listened to what the people were saying. Why not carry for him? Then the general secretary himself, Ejra party of Eka said, Mumubi, you are not performing. And then we are calling on the president to do reshuffle.
Yeah.
So Baumia was not speaking against his boss. Neither is he speaking. He was saying that these are issues in Kofoede a raising here.
I mean, beside this direct question, if ever the MPP should have another flag bearer, looking at the kind of leadership that His Excellency the former president provided the party, what kind of leadership does the MPP need now, moving into the 2028 election?
CJ, I didn't see anything. Yes, Obia won ni nanso. Obia wo ni weak and witness.
Yes.
Nanado's style of governance is different from Kufuor's administration. Nanado's style of government believes that experience and therefore, if Obi wo baby, that's a ocean baby, there's a need for you to encourage the person to do it. Kufuor's believe that look, when it's so
which of the two styles would you prefer?
Both styles are good. Both styles are good.
Okay.
It depends. It depends on your leadership.
Okay.
But so for me, I think that whoever becomes a flag bearer and becomes a president of our part of this country, it depends on how the person who govern. Obia is on the lifestyle here. Obia.
Okay. Honorable.
And I gave you an example about Honorable Adekuka Anambibwa.
Yes.
When he was the regional chairman.
Yes.
Compared to the current regional chairman.
Yes.
And I give you examples of it. Say, did you hear if there's any time that there was a fight in his office? No. There was no, because of one leadership scar. He's a quiet, gentle, but he will deliver. Obi wa obey gidi. At the end of the day, no, on no lifestyle, no. It will be an lifestyle.
My name is Chairman.
CJ.
Are there any lessons? You are in government,
yes,
but you've been in opposition for 8 years.
Yes.
Now, here is a vice president, a flag bearer who just left power, sharing some of the things I don't know if you say a course one more defeat. Are there any lessons that the NDC in power now can draw?
CJ, the first now saying, sir, Bawumia shouldn't lament. He shouldn't. He was the chairman of the economic management team. And you know, President Akufo-Addo brought him there and said, President Akufo-Addo, economics, economics. But Bawumia is economic guru. So he's going to handle economics. On the platform, former President Akufo-Addo touted the prowess of Bawumia. Or say economy na take shape. We should give credit to Bawumia. CJ,
No correct.
So how come now you are telling me, say, ye levy? No. But you were there. You were championing it. NAPCO, Mukoye, inaugurating NAPCO, Blaster Square. You were there. Ejumabia President, former President Akufo-Addo, no. You were leading it. When the 88 MPs, Omobaka said, Omopacho, Yenyi Oforiata from Minister of Finance, no. What did you Bawumia say about it? Rather, the Okan Krofo, 88 members, most of them lost their primaries and lost their seats. Time I hear your primaries, no. Now, Alan, Ejaku, they were complaining about the process, no. You enjoyed it, and it got you elected.
The process there, it was fair.
But he is out saying the process is not fair. Omakasa, he has to change the process. You understand? So, Minia, for me, a wake-up call to every politician. So when you're in the system, and the system is not going right, you must be bold to speak about it. Even if you have to go to your boss privately and say, boss, no man mate or as when let us do it this way, let us do it this way. But if you didn't do that, and now on your thank you to, you are pushing former President Akufo-Addo under the bus.
No, he's not doing that.
No, but what about maybe? I mean, he tried suggesting and advising.
He should have told us. Then the process, when at the last rally at Legon or wherever it is, I saw the tape where President Akufo-Addo was heaping praises on him. He's the next best person in this country, president. He knows the guru. Obia Mahama the Ombakura. So he knew all these things, and when he was putting the praises on you, you never said that as someone came, casa with them don't come and stand in public and deceive us.
Chairman, based on what you are hearing the former vice president say about his party, his government, and the leadership style, and what caused their defeat, if you have any advice for the NDC, advice and
take cognizance of all these things. Ghanaians voted for you to make their lives worthwhile. Ghanaians voted for you to ensure that they get good drinking water, they get good roads, they get 3 square meals a day in their homes. That is why you have voted for.
Okay.
So if you are not able to do these things, don't expect them to come and vote for you, because the social contract you signed with them, no, you couldn't fulfill it. So it's a wake-up call. But I don't want you to come after the event to come and tell me, say, I'm on for Kasa, and we are not listening. That one, I don't buy it.
All right. But I say, Chairman Kwabena Adekoka, a former Greater Accra Regional Chairman for the National Democratic Congress, Honorable Ebenezer Gilbert Nina Nate, a former Member of Parliament, Ablikuma Central.